All right, so this is the public issue triage, weekly issue triage meeting for the Habitat Project, the week of March 7th, 2017. I'm going to go ahead and post the Git hub query into the chat here inside of the Google Hangout. For those of you that feel like joining or following along, you can go there. We've also posted the link to the stream inside of the Habitat Slack. Also get the queried issue query posted there as well, and then we'll get started. Cool. All right. Looks like Salim's probably going to join us as well. I'm going to share my screen here, theoretically. All right. Can you all see that okay?
Yeah, I can see it.
Sweet. Cool. So the first issue we're going to look at is number 1915. And this, I believe, we were just talking about, so probably can get this updated. This is after the version 18, V0180 release.
Yeah, that's the one I'm investigating. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have, I would assume that we are going to take over this issue and we're going to resolve it, right?
Yeah, if it repros, so far it hasn't.
Okay.
It could be a one-off thing.
Okay. Well, so we can leave this, well, actually, let's just go ahead and add it into accepted minor for now. And we can close it out, you know, if it doesn't end up being a real thing. I haven't heard anybody else running into it yet, so let's see if we can repro it. Cool. So the next one is going to be 1913. And give everybody a second there.
Yeah, I remember seeing this come over yesterday. This makes total sense. Basically, our docs say one thing and the CLI says another. I mean, it's not that one lies, it's just that one's more thorough. So the CLI should have the same thoroughness as the docs.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, that can be, and that's like a super easy one to fix and should absolutely get fixed. And it's something that somebody could do if they just have some time. All right, we're going to move on to 1908.
That's merged already.
This is one that you've already. Oh, did we already resolve this?
Maybe we just didn't close out the issue.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool. Is that not? Yeah, cool. Make sure we get that. All right, great. That was an easy one. Awesome. So the next one we're going to look at is 1907. I think Stephen was looking at this.
Yeah. Hey, this is Nathan. Stephen actually opened some of these, like, based on stuff I was showing him. So,
oh, perfect. So do you want to give us the rundown?
Yeah, so sorry, I'm chewing.
No problem.
So in 0.18, if you do a binding, none of the CFG stuff is there.
Oh,
So it's
that's
all like,
interesting.
if you have a plan, like I was doing it with the Elasticsearch and RabbitMQ, like you have a plan that like tells you what the port's supposed to be, and then you do like DFG that port in your, you know, each member's loop thingy. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing in CFG. If you look at user toml, or if you look at config toml, there's, or you know, hit the services endpoint. There's nothing in CFG. There's just all empty. No matter, I think it's just like anything, any binding export, like just the other stuff, like the sys things are there, but not CFG.
Interesting. Okay.
I know Steve submitted a PR yesterday for that. I think it may have addressed this, but I'm not sure. Actually, hold on. In the PR, I think, or in the issue. Oh no, it's just a different issue. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, he's got. Yeah, it's probably not fixed. It might be. I'll take a closer look, but
Okay.
it's definitely a problem if it's not.
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, this is probably something that we can take care of. Should take care of.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So add habitat to homebrew number 1896. I'm not sure how we would go about solving this. The way that the homebrew packages have been handled thus far is Mike actually has been managing that, Mike Fiedler. And I think that those are currently distributed through Homebrew Cask. So this might be resolved by having like by turning the curl bash into a first class citizen, having just a way that, well, I don't know if that helps him or not. I don't know if that helps or not actually.
Yeah, I'm not a homebrew or Mac user, but based on the comment here, it sounds like your comment, Nathan. I mean, right? It's not exactly the most discoverable, but it would be the right thing to. Seems to me like it would be the right thing to call.
Well, apparently, like, it sounds like his problem is that, like, Homebrew needs you to give it, like, the release and the version. And with the...
Oh, I see.
With the curl bash, like, and I've just been using this installed SH, like, in all my test kitchen scripts and everywhere, like...
Yeah.
Like, I've been using like this, like it's OmniTruck, like pretending it's a real thing that only few people know that it's there.
Right.
But like, I don't know, like, I don't know about, like, what I think the solution to this is that we like officially release to Homebrew, like, and manage it ourselves instead of having like somebody else do it, because like I don't know where somebody pointed it out to me yesterday, but like I don't know where the like homebrew stuff that Mike is managing is, but like and if you're watching Mike, like I'm like I don't want to have to depend on Mike for like homebrew to be up to date, because people are going to brew install habitat, and then like it's going to be an old version and it's going to be our fault.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I've been thinking about the same thing on the window. You know, when we add Windows support, you know, for with Chocolatey, and with some of the work I've done in the past with Chocolatey, we've all, you know, the best experiences are always when the actual software vendor or, you know, project themselves, you know, maintains their own package. That's the best way. You know, like if it's actually hardwired, you know, into the build process, that's the best way to handle it.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that this probably involves some greater discovery work. It's a legitimate issue. I guess what Justin was trying to do is add it to the Stark and Wayne brew tap, but we probably ought to investigate what it will take to get to get our builds directly available inside of Brew. I know that like when Mike went through this, part of the problem was that that Homebrew wants you to compile with them. Like there's a whole thing about, and I'm not an OSX person either, so you have to forgive my my lack of knowledge, but there was an issue with originally with getting access to this. Might be worth.
So I think like just to directly answer this question, like if you like download the pack, like if you run, like if you do, let's see, I have it like alias on my machine to install Habitat. Like if you install it, it's going to like in the output of the command, like it'll have tab space 0.18.0/2017. Like so, if you actually run the script and download the package, like you can grep the output for the release. You know, like that might solve his particular problem here.
Yeah. So then, as part of the build, you're saying once the build is complete, we've got that updated binary. We just use the binary to output the appropriate timestamp, and the build continues on from there with that value to do whatever it needs to do as far as fitting those.
I don't know. He's saying I don't know any of that. I just know that to answer a specific question, I would say install that .sh-v. I think you can do 0.17.0, right?
Yeah.
So you can do 0.17.0, and then like, which doesn't, no, that doesn't work. So you have to, if you want a version other than the latest version, you have to give it like you have to give it the version and the release.
Right.
So if I do install that sh-v 0.17.0, then it's going to install 0.18.0 because it doesn't know what 0.17.0 is unless I give it the entire timestamp.
We could probably change that.
Yeah, you could probably make it so like if you just give it the unqualified version, it will find the latest version of 0.17.
Yep.
That would probably solve this problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's honestly probably ideal anyways, because you likely if we have more than one build of 0.18.0, there's probably a reason for that, right? So you probably would want to default to pulling whatever the latest build of that version is anyways. Yeah, okay. So Nathan, would you be willing to update that PR?
Yeah.
and suggest that we do that and we can see how Justin feels about it. But I think that that's probably the right thing. I think you're on point about it.
Yeah, and as far as like, I think the larger takeaways are like we should be having homebrew as part of our build process, and the install.sh should be,
Yep.
more prominently.
It should be the first lesson.
Right.
Yeah.
But other than that, like to solve the specific problem, I think if we fix the script that we don't need to give it the release, then that would solve it.
Yep.
So I'll put a
Totally.
comment on there later.
Okay, cool. All right, sweet. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. It's going to be 1224. Add label schema support in package Dockerize and package ACI. Give everybody a minute to kind of look through that. If you want, you can take a look at that blog post. So my understanding about label schema is that it's more or less an operationalization thing around making sure that we're providing an interface that's got good use of like labels, kind of defining a consistent approach to labels, because there's no like across Docker, I don't believe that there's any kind of enforcement of anything like that.
Seems like a good thing to do.
Yeah. It's not something that I have a problem with. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, I don't see any objection. I don't think it's probably not, it's not, super high priority, but definitely a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably like as time goes on, like different tools are going to expect that stuff to be there. And then like once we have a super important customer who's like using the tool that needs that stuff, then like it'll become high priority. But right now it's kind of just like doing it the right way in case tools that we use, like, so it seems like an easy thing to put in there too. I don't know. It looks like text with variables in it.
Yep, that's what it seems like. It's mostly key value pairs. I'm looking at the labelschema.org deal. So it's just more or less like an format for how we want to do all our labeling. So this isn't even like necessarily something that's going to require much work as much as just changing because some of those labels are going to exist by default right now, I would assume, as part of our Habitat, as part of the Docker container export, right? And if not, it should be super trivial to add, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in help wanted. I think we can all get behind it. Let's move on. The next issue is going to be 1360. App package bin link needs some improvements.
I love the Lamont issues. They're my favorite.
This is robust. So yeah, I'll give everybody a minute to kind of read through this so that we have an idea of what's going on. So this is actually multiple issues.
Yeah.
The first thing, I think I can get behind a switch from user bin to user local bin. The problem being is user local bin always going to be on the path by default?
It depends.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Which Linux you're running and which user you're running as, and but then again, like I mean, user local bin is the correct place to put stuff like that. But yeah, you're right. How like sometimes it's not in the path when you think it should be.
And it
So-
doesn't feel great to like have the bin link command modify the user path without their knowledge.
Well, I mean, but you can specify, and this is an old issue. So like
Yep.
like sorry, just typing some stuff in a console. Like you you can specify the destination dir, which by default, according to the help, is /bin, not user bin or user local bin. So like if you had a problem where user local bin wasn't in your path, you could specify the destination.
Yeah.
You can do that already. So I think I would agree with making user local bin the default. Since you can,
Since you can already specify a directory to dump those into if you want to.
I think the problem is like probably like crazy tiny Linux things like Alpine, or like, you know, if you're in Docker with some sort of like, you know, like tiny environment, like user local might not even exist, or you know, so I don't know.
Seems like what they're asking for is, you know, the big ask here seems to be something like RPM for hat packages, right? Where you're really trying to manage to the latest version with, you know, number of different asks here. So I don't know, maybe this should be separated into two things.
Yeah, I think it should. There's probably like 3 or 4 issues in that issue. So we could either like break it up or ask Lamont to break it up, but he probably would tell you he ain't got time for that. But I can volunteer. I'll volunteer to break that up. What's the issue number?
1360?
1360 or 16?
60.
1360.
Sorry about that.
So I can respond to that and like open like individual issues that can be triaged separately. Because I think they're all good ideas in there. I think like with the user local bin, it might be one of those things where the case like the right thing to do might not be the right thing to do depending on the context you're in. Like stuff I'm doing is like on an Ubuntu or a CentOS machine, like that makes the most sense. But like for some other stuff, it might not. So, but I can break those up and just.
So some of this too is, and my apologies, every now and then when I have like multiple Google Chrome windows open, it just totally crashes my laptop. But so one of the other things is we already provide a means to determine what like multiple directories that your output binaries could exist in as well for bin linking. Isn't that correct? Or am I wrong about that?
I don't know about for bin linking. I mean, you can like package binders is an array.
Yeah.
So I don't, but you can't like, I think that what the behavior probably should be is similar to how bundler works, where you can say like bundler bin stubs middleman will like install the bin stub for that particular thing. But if you just do bundler bin stubs, then it'll do like all the bin stubs that, you know, it'll do everything that's available.
Gotcha.
So you could make the default, if you just do have package bin link, core, Redis, whatever, like it would bin link everything in the package binders. But if you just had package bin link Redis, core Redis server, it would like just do Redis server. Like just the one binary that you want instead of all of them. So I think like I'll probably break that part out and write a ticket that makes it behave like I want it to behave. Or specifies that, you know?
Yeah.
And then the other thing was like the multiple versions, which is also a great idea, but I think you'd have to change the syntax a little bit. Where you can like, because right now you can if you wanted to say like, I want to bin link Ruby 2.1 to Ruby 2.1, you couldn't really do that because you can specify the destination directory, but not the destination name of the thing it's going to be named. So that would have to change so that I could say, be more specific instead of saying like I wanted to go in user bin, saying I wanted to go in user bin Ruby 2.2. So that also might be a pretty simple change and take care of like the problem. I think like also Ian, your avatar is very judgmental looking, and like whenever I'm talking and looking at your face, you're like, you're so stupid. Why are you saying those words? Those are stupid words.